Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jillian. I'm an intuitive life coach, spiritual healer, and on my channel we talk about everything from spirituality, sacred sexuality, past lives, energy, frequency, and everything in between. If you like this type of content, then press the like button, subscribe. I'd love to have your support and you can see more videos like this from me. But I will roll into the topic of today, and we are going to talk about twin flames. Yes, twin flames. So this may be contrary to what you may have heard before within the spiritual communities about twin flame unions. And I might divide opinion, but that's okay. Because in my opinion, the narrative that is touted around the spiritual communities around twin flames, around the separation, the runner and the chaser, is a false narrative. I believe that it is extremely disempowering to continue on with this twin flame narrative, and that we are two halves of one soul. All souls are connected. We are all connected multidimensionally, whether you believe that or not. And we are not a separate of one soul. And for me, this is a disempowering narrative and a false light program that we have been fed, and I believe has infiltrated its way into the spiritual communities to keep us in a disempowered state, to keep us in fear and separation consciousness, which is a 3D consciousness. And it's a frequency that we as humanity have been living in for a very long time. And this is what we are trying to move away from into our 5D reality that is coming, which is all about unity and love and compassion and understanding and all these amazing, beautiful things. So where I'm seeing this being so disempowering is with, to be honest, from my experience, mostly women who are spiritual, that are on their enlightenment journey, and along the way they have met someone that they believe to be their twin flame, and they are buying into the narrative that this is their twin flame. And I've seen people hold on to this belief that this person who has left them or run away from them is their twin flame, and they're in this separation period right now. And it's not the case, guys. It is not the case. This narrative, as I said, is just exasperating the trauma bonds and the toxic narratives of separation, and it's not healthy. So where I see this becoming, or where I see this a problem, is when you're holding on to a thought or an idea that this person that has left you is your twin flame and your only soulmate, then you are unable to really move forward in your life. You are still holding those ties energetically to someone that isn't your twin flame, isn't your divine counterpart, isn't your sacred partner. Yes, they could have been a soulmate, but they also could have been a karmic partner. Like, let's be honest, if they're running away, then there's some shit there to be resolved. So what this puts you into is a state of disillusionment, and it stops you from really taking back your own power and believing that you are whole and perfect the way that you are. Because again, this narrative is saying that you are two halves of one soul, meaning that you are not whole and complete until you come into union with this person, which is so disempowering. Like, surely you guys see that this is so disempowering, right? And it's a problem because I am seeing so many amazing, beautiful people that are on their spiritual journey and awakening that are really transfixed with this notion that this toxic person is actually their twin flame and their soulmate, and it's really not. So the difference between in my opinion, the twin flame and the soulmate versus just like a 3D relationship. Okay, So how do we discern what a twin flame and soulmate relationship is versus a potential trauma bond or just a 3D relationship? Well, For me, the twin flame connection and union will happen when there's two people that are on a very similar mission to be of service to the world. And that doesn't have to be in the same way, but has a real deep knowing of their purpose and are here and is here to really be of service to humanity in some way, shape, or form. And these two people have to have a deep level of self-awareness. They have had to raise their consciousness and have to have done the work to be able to come into a union that is truly based on compassion, unconditional love, understanding, and most importantly, freedom. Freedom around your own sovereignty. And the difference that I see is a lot of the 3D relationships that we have been in that are being confused as these twin flame relationships are not based within freedom. They're not based within unconditional love. They're based on conditions, codependency, control, manipulation, and not allowing the other person to be truly free. And honestly, that only comes with a deep level of self-awareness and a deep level of conscious healing to recognize your patterns, to have healed your inability to communicate on a very conscious level with yourself, never mind another person. So I'll ask you, if you believe that you are in separation from your twin flame, then one, that's probably not your twin flame, because they would have enough level of awareness to know that you are supposed to be together, or at least have the emotional communication to be able to resolve it in a way that isn't leaving one person pining and the other person running, because that is just an unhealthy dynamic. That is just a trauma bond. That is just a toxic dynamic, and that is not a true sacred union. A sacred union comes into play when you are in sacred union with yourself. So what do I mean by that? When you have balanced your masculine and feminine within you, when you have done the work to raise your vibration and your consciousness to a point where you can have a level of unattachment to things and outcomes. And look, that just takes work, right? And a deep level of self-awareness of like who you are, that you are a multidimensional soul, and that you do have a mission on this earth. And I do believe that at that point, this is when a sacred union partner or a twin flame or whatever you want to call it can come into your life. And most importantly, the soul union and the sacred union with yourself also needs to be a sacred union with the universe, God, source, the divine. You both need to have a deep connection to your divinity and your multidimensional self and your soul and creator to come into such a beautiful union like this. So I will ask yourself, if you do believe that you are in a twin flame connection, or if you do believe that you are with a soulmate, what is the level of your communication with each other? Do you have a deep level of emotional understanding when you communicate with each other? Are you both communicating when times get hard that is leaving the other person feeling small, not heard, and not seen? Because this isn't a sacred union. Even being in a twin flame relationship is never going to be smooth sailing, because you're always going to come up against roadblocks and challenges within life. But it's how you are able to move through those with a level of consciousness and self-awareness to overcome those with love and compassion and a sense of easefulness, even though it still might be hard, rather than from a place of pain and suffering and projection. And that is a really kind of key difference between a 5D conscious relationship versus a 3D relationship, and where some people might be getting confused. So I ask you, if you believe that you are in a twin flame connection, then what is the level of your communication with your partner and vice versa? Are you able to overcome the hurdles in life through deep emotional and self-aware conversation that allows the other person to be seen, heard, and free in their own sovereignty? Or are you still impacted by triggers and projections? Because this is a big telltale sign of a twin flame union and a sacred union with another, is that deep level of self-awareness with self, and therefore the ability to be able to communicate that with another person. So if you are still operating within, as I said, the manipulation or the codependency or the control in any which way, then this is either just something to work on with each other, or this is not potentially your twin flame. And I guess in conclusion, the notion of twin flame and sacred union is such a beautiful thing for us as humanity to aspire to have these level of conscious 5D relationships, and to really get to a place within ourselves where we are so connected to who we are and source consciousness, that we are able to then share that with another and share a mission to really elevate the world in some way with whatever that is, whatever your natural gifts and talents and purpose is, to come into union with that knowledge in yourself is so amazing and beautiful, and keep doing that amazing work in the world. But also to then come into union with another to continue the mission is so amazing and so wonderful. And I do believe that these twin flame connections that are coming in more and more now with how the world is changing are really here to, as I said, provide that support for each other on their purpose and mission to support and be of service to the world in some way. And that might be, as I said, in two very different ways, but and that could also be the very different dynamic where one is just that anchor and support for the other one who is maybe in the public arena or is doing the healing work or whatever it is, that they have a perfect, beautiful dynamic because they are both whole and complete within themselves and extremely self-aware, that they can then bring this level of unconditional love together and amplify that through their union. Because being that anchor and being whole and complete and self-aware in yourself and sharing your mission is extremely friggin' powerful, but doing that as a conscious couple is just even more insane. And then you add the magic that can happen from that level of unconditional love plus sacred sexuality. It amplifies the frequency of love tenfold into the universe and reverberates. So the more work that you can do on yourself to become as conscious and self-aware as you can, to heal yourself, to understand your patterns, your triggers, your blocks, to fully being your authentic self and following your purpose and passion in life, the more opportunity there is for this beautiful twin flame soulmate to appear and come into your life and to then amplify what you already are, which is unconditional love. So that is my take on twin flames. I'd love to know what your beliefs on twin flames are. Are you in your twin flame union? Do you know who your twin flame is? Do you believe that you are in a twin flame separation? Comment and let me know. I would love to know. This is a really interesting topic and I know it divides opinion. So let me know what your narrative is. Let me know what you follow. And yeah, I am open to everyone's experience, because the more that we can all do the work to raise our consciousness, the more chance that we have to come into union with ourselves and be truly happy and have unconditional love for ourselves and then everyone else. And then if that beautiful partner comes in to continue the work with us, then most amazing thing ever. So if you love this and you like this type of content, then please subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. If you want to comment, like, share, do all the things, I would love that. And hopefully spread the word to other people within your community that would also be really interested in this type of spiritual content. And I will bid you adieu, and I will see you another day.